Good evening. Tonight is May the 20th, and this is the Township Board meeting. I'd like to call, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please stand for the opening prayer and the pledge of allegiance? Oh, I love you guys.
Hold on.
Lord, we're meeting here tonight to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being the source of our guidance tonight. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
We'll hurry through it.
Gonna make up a lost
Lorraine,
Present.
Reed,
Here.
Mathis,
Here.
Krug is present, Kessler,
Here.
Gopal,
Here.
Tucker.
Present.
You have full board.
Okay. To the people in the audience, this program is televised. There's 3 cameras up in the corners here. You're welcome to come up to the podium. State your name. You do not have to give your address. It will come on air on Charter Communications, and the channel is 191. It'll go for 2 weeks, and you'll just have to turn in and see what day it's going to be on. But you're welcome to come up, and please try to speak loud so the people in the back can hear you, and also myself. Approval of the agenda. Are there any requests to amend tonight's agenda? A motion is in order to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call. No.
No, you can just
All in
vote
favor
yea and
signify
nay.
by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. Included in the packet are the minutes from the May 6th regular meeting. Are there any corrections or requested revisions to the meeting minutes? The meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Expenditures. Are there any questions in regarding the expenditures?
Thomas, I'd like to know why my man Jarrett Broker was getting paid less than the rest of his compatriots in crime.
You worked less.
He didn't work quite as many hours.
Oh,
He was late coming back.
did he have PTO or something?
He finished up finals and moved home that day.
Okay, well, that's a good enough excuse for me.
Tom, medical supplies, was that for the fire department?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. 2 dehumidifiers. We got one up in the front in the office, and where's the other one?
I'm assuming those are probably for pump stations. We didn't get anything for the
A
office.
dehumidifier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they put them down in the
Really?
pits. Yeah, because they're so damp.
Okay. Okay, and the other thing, Michigan Township Association annual dues. That's pretty high. Do we pay that?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a calculation.
By the amount of employees? or-
Based on our population, SEV, whatnot, and it's
That's
pretty
high.
healthy that it's to run a good organization.
Are there any other questions in regard to any of your expenditures? Motion is in order to approve the expenditures totaling $331,973.88 for payment.
So moved.
What? Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
I vote yes. Mathis.
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Gopal,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Public hearing, none. Reports, are there any committee reports to be made? Communications, none. Adoptions of ordinances. Rezoning R 19-002, Horizon Lake Air Park, parcel 06-29629-037, 06-29626, 038, 0629 626 039, and 0629 626 040. The address is 618 Silver Lake Road. This is an amendment to the existing PUD to allow 15 airplane hangars, an additional 15 airplane hangars. Now, this is also the second reading, so the board has talked about it, but is there any board discussion in regards to it? Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on it? All right. I need a motion to adopt an amendment to the zoning ordinance number 594, the PUD conditions for the Horizon Lakes Air Park development to allow the development of 15 airplane hangars on parcels 0629 626 037, 038, 039, and 040 as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Reed,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
I vote yes. Mathis.
Yes. The next one is proposed zoning ordinance amendment to allow uses of less intensity by special use permit. This is also the second reading of this ordinance. Is in the board, because of the second reading, we've discussed this. Is there any more discussion in regards to this?
John, does this just give us broader use of the,
Yeah, it opens up the commercial and industrial zoning districts for what would typically be referred to as lesser intense uses. And it does it by requiring the applicant to get a special use permit from the planning commission. You know, normally the gut reaction would be anything inferior is probably going to work, but there could be circumstances where the mix just isn't right, or
Okay.
whatever, some other physical circumstance that isn't proper. But the basic concept does exactly what you said, Bob. It expands the permissible uses within each
and the planning
zoning.
commission would be the control of it?
That's right. They're going to be boots on the ground. You have 7 folks going out and looking at it to make sure it makes sense.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? All right, a motion to adopt the amendment to Article 3 of zoning ordinance number 594 to allow less intensity uses by special use permit in non-residential and non-agricultural zoning districts as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mathis,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
I vote yes. Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Proposed ordinance to prohibit recreational marijuana establishments. This is the first reading. You have the information in your packet, but I'm going to let our attorney, Jack Belzer, explain it to the audience
you
and the
have-
board.
Okay, you also have in front of you another revision that Mr. Golf and I talked about. And all that does is take out the word municipal before the word civil infraction. Under state law, if you don't want to have these marijuana establishments within the township, you have to opt out. That's what this ordinance does. A violation of that is a civil infraction, which it is also under state law. So you can't make it a misdemeanor because it's a civil infraction under state law. And this is, you know, for introduction, and the next meeting, it'll come up again for passage.
So would this be, no, the next meeting will be a first reading? Or this
No,
is the
this
first?
is the first reading.
Reading
It's the
right now.
Introduction.
Introduction,
Yeah,
okay.
we always call it first reading, second reading, but really it's an introduction, and then you introduce it and pass it at the next meeting. Or you don't introduce it, you pass it at the next meeting, but it has to be introduced at one meeting and then passed at another.
And the second one. Is there any board discussion?
Jack, I have a question. Can you clarify for us some examples of what might qualify as a marijuana establishment?
anything that's selling marijuana that's not already allowed under the medical marijuana. So if there's a store.
So is it only sales, or would it be grow facilities as well?
Any of the recreational growing facilities would also, so these ones that are talking about the, 150 plants and whatever, that all comes under this.
Thank you.
The legislation that's involved kind of breaks things down into categories. Growing is one of them. And I was in a facilitation all day today that involved a facility in Mount Morris. 500 plants is the state license, 500. So there's growing, and you can get multiples at the same location too. So there's growing, transporting, testing, I don't remember what they're, but all of those, they're categorized within the law. And I think what the ordinance is none of that.
Right, this is like the sales, the individuals that come in, that want to sell this marijuana, or if they want to set up an operation for growing recreational marijuana. Yeah. And this is in response to the voter-passed initiative for recreational marijuana. So if you don't opt out, you're in.
So basically, what we're doing here, this is boilerplate.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of it's from the MTA.
So, because we're expecting what, around November, December, that recreational marijuana is gonna be, we're gonna have it all ironed out, and then you're gonna be able to stop on your way home from work, hit a store and say, give me 20 bucks worth of this.
Right.
Right, so. So if somebody pops a store up here, they're gonna be responsible for not even a misdemeanor, but a civil infraction between $100 and $500 fine.
Yes.
Then
and
what?
it's continuing, plus it's a nuisance per se under the ordinance, which permits us to go to circuit court to get an injunction against them. And of course, you
But-
also have zoning issues too.
But already established and properly vetted, not vetted, licensed, we'll say, because I doubt there's a lot of vetting going on. Medical dispensaries are already under
Yeah,
the
that's-
umbrella of,
Yeah.
so this is, okay.
So being retired police officer or deputy, what is a civil fraction? I mean, what is,
Civil infraction is not a crime. It's something that doesn't reach the level of being criminal, but it's something to get noticed and to get your hand slapped and say, don't do it, speeding. Yeah, that's, civil infraction.
Right, and you can't go to jail for a civil
You don't go to jail
infraction.
for that.
You can go to jail for contempt of court if you violate a judge's order. But the civil infraction, if somebody walks in and says, okay, yep, that's what I did, the plea on that would be responsible, and they would be fined.
okay. Any other comments from the board? Is there any public comments? You're welcome to come up to the podium.
So we're all clear, there are very large amounts of money involved here,
Yes.
okay? I don't say that because I think we ought to get involved in the business, because I don't think our residents want us. I don't think they want those things here, but the scale of the dollars is very large.
That's why a lot of them are allowed.
Yeah, and well, they're after the tax money. The one I referred to in Mount Morris Township, the application for the local license was $5,000. So they took the license, the application, they issued the license, they put $5,000 in their pocket.
So if we allow this,
But that fee has to be related to costs that you incur. You don't just get $5,000 blanket and say, well, all we did is sign a piece of paper. You have to, it's supposed to be related to costs that you incur.
It's supposed to be, but they take $5,000
is it the
fee.
same as the taxation of the business?
No, there's a tax component too, and I don't know what the exact percentages are, but the businesses, when you talk to the people that are involved in this, what they're interested to see is how it's gonna play out, because it's done now in several states. They've seen how this whole scenario plays out, and the significant difference is whether or not the level of potency that you're allowed to sell the recreational marijuana. If the potency is the same as the medical marijuana potency, medical marijuana just disappears. It becomes no longer relevant because you can get the same potency that you can get for the regulatory. They prefer not to get into the regulatory because the tax burden is much higher, and that is where the municipalities can get a share of the gross receipts is what it boils down to. I don't have what the numbers are, I don't know.
Okay.
It's some percentage of gross receipts, and the dollars are large enough that I mean, it could be significant bumps in revenue, but I don't think our people want it. I personally don't want it. It's a bedroom community, you know, it will be found, it will be available, it's available now. It'll probably be available in the same places in the future that you can find it right now. It's just gonna be legal now.
All right. The second reading of the proposed ordinance will be on June 3rd meeting. Unfinished business, none. New business, resolution number 201911, public hearing, 4 Lake Street Improvement Special Assessment District. Operation Manager Tom Broker, would you please explain to the public?
Yeah. Yes, as the board will likely remember, back in August, we thought we'd completed the special assessment process for street improvements on 4 lakes and connecting streets. But as it turned out, the cost, there was a problem with the cost proposal that was used for the basis of the assessment, and the contract could not be executed. So after considering all the options, the committee of property owners that initiated the whole process decided to solicit new proposals over the winter with the goal of completing the improvements this year. Because of some of the issues brought up during the process, they expanded the scope of the project to include Crystal Cove Court and Emerald Point, as well as the 5 streets that were originally part of it, which is 4 Lakes Avenue, West 4 Lakes Drive, Sadler Drive, Squaw Lake Drive, and Isleview Drive. And they enhanced or improved the specifications for the improvement to basically extend the useful life, increase the useful life of the pavement. Instead of maybe a 10-year fix, it should be more like a 20-year fix. So the bids were solicited, received, reviewed, and a revised special assessment role has been created based on the new costs. Because of the change in the scope, the costs have increased quite a bit from the original estimates, and because that amount is more than 10%, or the statute requires the board hold a hearing to give property owners an opportunity to provide input on whether the project should still move forward, and if so, then that same hearing can include a review and confirmation of the special assessment role, which is included in the packet. So we do have a resolution to schedule the hearing. I don't know if there are any other questions on the process before we get to that. The hearing will be the time for the property owners to be heard.
Any discussion from the board members? Any discussion from the audience? You're welcome to come up to the podium.
District, can I vote for scheduling it? I have to abstain from that. I thought I got, yeah, that's not the scheduling part.
I'm John Elliott, West 4 Lakes Drive. I attended a meeting that we had back in April, I guess it was, and they were explaining the situation to us. I do want a new road, but I know a lot of neighbors right now are upset because the cost is more than double, and they're feeling that they were sold and told that it was going to be half of that. I've had a lot of neighbors come to me and complain. I'm in the Crystal Cove part, you know what I'm saying, my home is, and the other homes are Squanima Shores and Emerald Point. With the amount of money that it has gone up more than double, they just feel it should be reapproached by the residents as to be approved, for the 51% to approve it. And like I said, I am for it. I feel if that's going to change people's mind about paving our road, I don't want a bunch of neighbors all mad, because they didn't have a chance. They were all thought they were paying $1,600 or $1,700, and now it's going to be like $4,600. carried over 10 years, and that's quite a burden for some of the homes there, so. That was the only concern I have, is that they felt, several neighbors had come to me about having a revote just to approve the 46. I don't know if that could be done at the next meeting, or if it would be a special mail out like it was last time to approve.
Well, that's
was
actually,
gonna say,
what
John.
we're trying to do is schedule a meeting so everybody can come in and express their opinion.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm for it. I know some people come to me, it's like, well, you know, it's, they just felt that, they feel it's dirt, that we did them dirty because it was only supposed to be $1,700. Now they're looking at $4,600. That's, you know, a lot of those people are on fixed incomes. That's kind of huge, you know?
John, do you understand it has nothing to do with the township?
Yes, I do, and
Okay,
that's why, that's why the community feels, a lot of them feel that, you know, they were told it was gonna be $1,800. So yeah, no problem, they all voted for it. Now a lot of them are backpedaling, and they don't wanna pay that, and that's all. And I understand it has nothing to do with the township. The township is actually helping us out with getting this done, as far as, you know, supervising, you know, and telling us what to do, you know?
Would that be you, Mr. Tucker? Are you the one helping them out in regards to this one?
Well, when we get around to voting on it, I'm gonna have to abstain, because I'm in the district.
Okay.
But I've been involved in this process,
Yeah.
so I
And
get
I
it.
know Mr.
But-
Tucker too wants the road. I mean, it's,
Right.
the street's bad.
Right.
But I've, like I said, I've encountered several people. I've had a couple, people come to my house and just, you know, want to know what the heck's going on, so.
They need to
'cause
come.
That's why I told them, you should have been at the meeting. You know, that's why I
Well,
told them,
That
so.
last meeting was just informational. This is really more procedural, just to schedule a meeting.
Okay.
For everybody to come in and voice their opinions.
Because it is, you know, three different neighborhoods basically doing this.
Yeah.
So, that's my only
to the extent
concern.
They voice concerns, tell them.
And I've told them about a meeting in June. Yep, okay.
June 3rd is the meeting that they need to come in and express their opinion.
Right.
And there will be other people with opinions on the thing. The meeting was, I thought, a good meeting, so.
Well, John, I thought when we were discussing, I don't know if it was back in April, but when the special assessment was set up, district was set up, that to make a change that was more than 10%, that the residents could go back and take another vote. So, I mean, I think we should at least advise him as a resident, and do you not agree that there could be anher vote?
There can be, but there doesn't have to be.
Well, correct.
And
I just wanted, that's all I wanted to say.
That's what the hearing is.
Okay,
is to determine.
okay, that's all, that was my only concern about that. Thank you.
The hearing is the opportunity for the people to give input on the increased cost. And if the board feels that the majority no longer want the project as is, the board has the ability to stop it.
Yeah.
So this next meeting of June 3rd, the people should really be here.
And if anybody wants to submit petitions opposing or in favor of it, they should do that prior to that time.
I told them if they want to petition, they'd have to, you have to respond. Like I said, I want it, but it's not an issue.
Mhm. So do you want me to do the resolution?
We still have, that gets
Still
us-
have to do it.
All we're doing by the resolution is getting a public hearing established for
Okay.
our next meeting.
All right, is there anybody else in the audience? This is the time that I would get up and talk if you have any concerns.
But they'll also be able to talk
At the next one,
at the
yeah.
meeting.
That lets us think about it a little bit more. No one wants to. All right, then. Resolution number 201911. Clerk Krug, would you please present the resolution?
Yes, thank you. 2018-11 acknowledges the filing of the special assessment roll with the clerk, and it is available for review until the public hearing. It acknowledges that the revised cost exceeds the previous estimate cost by 10% or more. There's what Mr. Lorraine was talking about. Schedules a public hearing on the increased cost and the special assessment roll at the June 3rd board meeting. Directs the clerk to publish and mail the notices of hearing according to the statute, and it repeals any and all conflicting resolutions. I will move the resolution.
All right. Did you do a second? Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Gopal,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
resolution passes.
All right, now you want me to schedule a special meeting for
Well,
June
we
3rd, or
just did.
we did, but we don't have to vote on it.
It's
We're
our-
all set.
Yeah, it's our regular meeting.
Okay,
It's a regular
so June 3rd at 7:30, this will be here, if this is what you're here for, is, but please express your feelings, because we don't know unless you tell us. All right, resolution number 2019-12. This is a proposed new lake improvement special assessment district for Byram Lake. Operation Manager Tom Broker, would you explain?
Yes, the most recently approved special assessment for Byram Lake ended with the 2018 assessment, which is funding this year's treatment. The Lake Association has submitted a new proposal, which is in your packet, to continue the program for another 5 years, and which will require the creation of a new special assessment district. So we have a resolution to initiate the process and schedule the hearing on the creation of the new district. I will point out Byram Lake is, I think they've had a special assessment on their lake longer than any of the lakes. Goes back to the 80s, Brian?
This is the 30th year.
Okay,
1990 was the first year
okay.
Fenton Township in the city of Lynn.
Really?
And they are probably the most, we have some really organized lake associations, but Byram Lake is one of the best when it comes to being on top of their program, communicating to their people. They're great to work with.
Is there any board discussion? All right, resolution number 2019-12. Clerk Krug, would you please read the resolution?
Yes, thank you. 2018-12 acknowledges that the board has determined to proceed with the creation of a new special assessment district under Public Act 188 of 1954 as amended. Acknowledges receipt of estimated cost for the project. Tentatively declares that the board's intent to continue the lake improvement project. Determines tentatively the boundaries of the district to include all properties with frontage on or legal access to Byram Lake. Schedules a public hearing and the creation of the district at the June 3rd meeting. Instructs the clerk to mail and publish the hearing notices in accordance with the state statutes and rescinds any conflicting resolutions. I'll move the resolution.
Second.
Second, yeah, okay. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kessler,
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Gopal,
Yes.
resolution passes.
All right. This is a proposal to replace the roof on the fire station on Bowl Street. The chief is not here this evening. This roof is, I'm going to say, 20, maybe 20 years old. And it does need replacing. And we have 3 bids. And you have that in your packet, the 3 different bids. So we have to decide, gentlemen and Christine, which bid. And they're all reliable. They're very, they're good companies. And it's pretty close in the amount. So I'd like some discussion on that one if possible.
Just understand that the price that you see probably isn't going to be the final price. Because invariably what happens when you get the shingles off is they find base that needs to be replaced. The low bidder says he's including 3 sheets of plywood and the roof seems sound. But
Say 5
so
or
I
6.
might be wrong, but I represented a number of roofing contractors and it turns out that usually the cost of the decking is fairly substantial.
Because the one bid says possible 6 to 8 sheets.
Yeah, and if that's
Yeah.
all it is, that's not the end of the world. That's-
No, no.
And this building isn't, if it's only 20 years old, that decking should be in pretty good shape.
Tom, we used one not too long ago. Is it one of these roofers?
Maxim Roofing has done some minor repairs for us before. He's a local guy.
Okay.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, there it
with the
is. I
others.
see it. Okay. He's in the middle.
And I feel it's important that if we can stay with a local contractor, it's just the right thing to do. And there aren't a lot of differences
No.
in all three of the bids.
Do you want to make
Do
him,
you mean local in the township, Bob? Because I see one that's on Reed Road in Creek, 4,000, which is right off London.
lives in the
Yeah,
township, and kids go to
and-
school?
Yeah, it's one of those where we know Maxim has done good work. He's as local as the other. It doesn't really matter, but I definitely would like one of those two.
Does someone like to, would someone like to make a motion, please?
Do you know the work of the other guy, Mark?
No, I don't know the work of any of them.
They say it's close, but it's still $3,000. $2,600.
I'll make a motion that we approve the low bidder for this one, Knopf Construction, for the quoted price of $19,860.
Second?
Any further discussion? All right, and that's all as far as board construction. I need a motion to accept the proposal,
Just got one.
but I gotta say the name.
John did in his.
John did.
John, you did say the name? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. In the amount of $19,860.
Said that too.
And you said that one
Yeah.
too. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Mathis.
Yes.
I also vote yes, motion passes.
All right, resignation, Fenton Township Fire Department. You have this information in your packet. This is, I'm going to ask for a motion to accept the resignation of David Straminger from the Fenton Township Fire Department, effectively immediately. David was just 2 weeks ago, we accepted him as a fireman, and he's not able to work with the hours. He's a retired police officer from down in the Detroit area. So I wish he would have stayed. He would have been an extremely good one. So do you, anyone want to make a motion in regards to accepting his resignation?
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, we have another one. The motion to accept the resignation of Thomas Schwartz from Fenton Township Fire Department, effective immediately. And this gentleman cannot do it because of his, it is his work, the hours. And he has worked for the township and was a good fireman, so I need a motion.
So moved.
Second? Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
motion passes.
Next one is the proposed hiring of Fenton Township Fire Department. Again, this is in your packet. Any board discussion? All right. I'm going to make a motion to hire Michael, is it Swintek?
Schwintek, yes.
Swintek Jr. as a member of the Fenton Township Fire Department. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Yeah, go ahead.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
I vote yes. Kessler,
Yes.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
We have a new firefighter.
Are there any other comments from the members of the board?
Madam
Yes.
Supervisor, if I could, I'd advise the board that
Oh.
we had an issue with some property on Swanee Beach that was quite a mess. We went to court on it, and this property's now, talking to Mr. Shaw, this property's cleaned up. The township did not have to take any action. Once we got the court order, the property owner went in and cleaned it up, and it was quite an unpleasant sight for the neighbors to
A
deal
long
with.
time.
We've got another one that's coming up on Landings Way that'll probably be filed in the courts this week sometime.
It's difficult when it comes to blight. You know, you think you could get them to move it right away, and they don't. This one has gone on for years. The one on. Oh, okay. So you know what we're talking about. By next Monday, it's got to be clean.
No,
But-
it's already, the
no,
day's already passed.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah.
But Shaw, he saw that he was doing a good job, and he said, go ahead and do a little bit more, so he mowed the grass, and, yeah, so, it's, but that one, we were coming in with bulldozers, and we were going to clean it up, and everything that we got in the bulldozer, we were dumping. So, so that was something we were definitely going to do on that. And we're gonna have to on some. It just, blight to some people is not what we think is blight. Okay. Is there any other comments from the board members? All right, I will open it up to public comment to agenda and non-agenda items, if you'd like to come up. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Elaine Kinsman, and I live on Golden Shores, or Golden Circle, 13277 Golden Circle. I'm representing several neighbors and the ones I've brought with me here tonight on an issue that I raised with the board last November and December. I was here, and it's in regard to RV parking within the subdivision. We have a situation where RVs are parked literally on the front lawn of a residence. And it's an eyesore, and I really feel that this is affecting property values. It looks terrible, and it's right on the corner. It's also a traffic hazard. We have one residence that is running a landscape business out of their home. There are several trucks, a large commercial dump truck, a trailer, vans. These things come and go. Big plow from the winter is sitting there. That's on one side of the street. Sometimes these vehicles are parked in the street. Right across from that, we have the situation of RV parking. Two RVs side by side. One is parallel to the curb, the other one's perpendicular to the curb. When you come around and you want to turn, you're coming down Golden Shores and want to turn onto Golden Circle, it's a traffic hazard. One driveway is blocked by all this, and then sometimes the vehicles from this business are right out in the street, and it's really becoming a problem to those of us who don't want to live like this.
No. And this is,
So I'll be glad, I'd like to read this to you really quickly. I wrote this up, that the homeowners of Golden Shores Circle neighborhood are requesting that the Township Board help to address our concerns. The issues stated here are negatively affecting our property values and safety. Parking and storage of RVs, boats, trailers close to the roadway, on the street, and on unpaved areas, even on front lawns. Traffic hazards are created by blocking views of oncoming cars. It's quite unsightly and has a negative impact on our property values. Some of these large vehicles stay a matter of months, and some are year-round. These particular 3 homes that I'm talking about are not the only ones. There are others too. And even at times, they are hooked up. So, they have power to these. I don't know if somebody's staying in them on occasion or what, but The majority of homeowners of this residential subdivision want to protect the largest investment that we have, our homes and our property. Our investments are at risk of depreciation at the hands of a few who do not exhibit any consideration for the vast majority of their neighbors. We don't have high-priced fancy homes, and this isn't a showplace neighborhood. But these are our homes, and it's where we have our families growing up, and we feel that the condition of deterioration here in our neighborhood should be of concern to the Township Board. The surrounding communities, Grand Blanc, Linden, they have addressed these very issues and have implemented new ordinances to correct such parking abuses. At present, the condition of the roads in our subdivision are deplorable. Several residents have reported calling the township offices to appeal for some action, and according to a crew that was just recently doing some patchwork, and also 2 realtors in the Fenton area, that this is the worst residential road condition they've seen in Fenton Township. So, in addition to very bad roads, we have this storage lot condition. The roads, you know, that's something else I guess we'd appeal at another time, but all this taken together, I had a neighbor last year who had trouble selling their home and had to take a lesser value for what they were selling because potential buyers were complaining that they didn't want to be there based on what they saw going on down the street. So that's where we're at. I have some pictures for you. If I can hand these to you. You can see that they're parked, there's on the back too. And then this is the landscape business. The trucks were all gone, but you can see the plowing gizmo is there, and the dirt, you know, that results. I just don't know how somebody can run a business like that out of a residential area. But here's my little letter.
Is the landscaping individual leaving his trucks in the street?
Not very often anymore. It was an issue previously. I think you remember
I
that.
only asked because I made him a deal I didn't think he was dumb enough to turn down.
I haven't seen them in the street since winter.
Okay.
And there was a trailer that had no reflectors on it, and that was really dangerous.
Yep.
But on occasion, trucks can be in the street, and then with this, as you'll
Nope,
see coming around,
I
with
live
those
off Crane Road,
RVs.
so I
Okay.
know where you're talking about.
All right.
And,
Well, we'd really
Like I said,
appreciate it
I-
if maybe board members would like to drive by and
Oh,
see
we
if this
will.
is where they would like to live.
I made him a deal and it sounds like he almost turned it down.
Well, you know, I can't say they're in the street often at this point in time. The point is,
So he almost
even
took
if they're
my
in the
deal.
driveway, there's 2 cars, he has 2 driveways, and there's a minimum of 4 vehicles in that driveway all the time. And all that dirt, as you will see coming around here. So,
Elaine, can you get us the addresses? Just call it in.
to those homes.
Yeah, we'll know, but just for filing,
All right,
we'll know. This will go to the code enforcement officer tomorrow in
okay,
regards to
I'll
this.
talk to Pat tomorrow.
okay.
Uh-huh,
Right.
in regards to it. But the only way is for a resident like you to come, make it our attention, and then we can go after it,
Okay.
for
Well,
sure.
Yeah, I was here in November and December, and I don't know if anyone remembers that it was talked about being addressed, and I know Linden has done this.
We're gonna
It
have
took
to get an
6 months. They had to come up with an ordinance about RV parking, and
Well,
I just don't think it belongs in a
the
residential
RV,
area.
RV
Yes.
parking has grown. Now there's 2 of them.
Yes,
almost like a-
and if you look at this one. There are 2 pontoon boats stuck in between there too,
Oh,
you know.
at least he's
We'll
flexible.
get on
He
it,
does
we'll get
both.
on it.
Thank you
I
very
will
much.
tell you, Elaine, I have given one gentleman, not in this area, permission to park a mobile home. And if you come down into Bowles, you'll see a motor home parked in our parking lot.
Mhm.
That gentleman lives down and Sonora down here where it is just unbelievable to try to get down. They're building, they're digging a well. He has no room, I mean, he has no place right now to put that motorhome. So I told him to bring it up. I told him to put a sign on it, but I don't think he did, that I okayed it. But he needed to get it on solid ground.
Sure.
So that one motorhome, you will see, did get permission. And now the sheriff, you'll see the sheriff boat and the jet skis, and they'll be there all summer long because they use them.
But that's in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's a parking lot. But
Well,
still,
this
no,
is,
this
you
is
know,
bad.
Right in the neighborhood.
This is right on the street, and it
Right
does,
along the street.
We'll go tomorrow for
it
sure.
does obstruct the view of turning from one, was it Golden Shore Circle?
Come in on Golden Shores off of Torrey.
Yeah.
And then you make a
It's-
left, and you
Left.
get left onto Golden Circle.
Yeah,
And
Golden
that's
Circle,
where-
it's
That's where
dangerous
it all
pulling
is.
out.
Yes, it is.
And then,
And that's not the only one. As you exit Golden Circle, onto Golden Shores, you know, going toward Crane Road, oftentimes, and it's not year-round, but maybe 3-4 months at a time, there will be another big one parked there. And that's, I've had neighbors tell me,
It's hard to even get around the corner. You know,
you can't see the traffic. You can't see traffic coming. And
It's a
that one,
huge, it's a huge.
it's a very huge one.
big one.
And it's and it's hooked up. I mean,
Yeah,
they've
it's
got
got light,
water and
it's got
electricity
cord,
running through it. I don't know if
That's
it's
supplemental
phase
housing
two.
that I thought we had taken
Well, there
care
are
of.
a lot of cars there, so I don't know how many people.
We'll get it checked
I
out.
saw a guy coming out of Old Camper, he looked at me real nervous and ran in the house. I saw the cord, he looks at me, he slammed the door, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding.
But we'll get on it, Pat Shaw, we'll get on it tomorrow. And then we'll get with Mike Deem, our new zoning and planning administrator, and we'll start an ordinance going.
Are you condominium or a classic subdivision?
Yeah.
Has anybody looked at the
Well,
bill?
there's condos and there's
There's both.
self-standings.
There's both
They're
of
both-
them
both,
there.
I
It's like half and
The
half.
condos are kind of like,
Connected.
I
Some
thought
condos
the
are
homes-
connected and some are self-standing.
duplex.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are
yeah, like,
these,
they're like duplexes around the outside of
Duplex
the
ranch.
circle. But then on our subdivision, we're all in individual houses.
Individual.
are the units that are creating the problems, are they in the subs or the
Two
condos?
are standalone homes and one is a duplex.
So
Okay.
one's in the condo, one's in, two are in the
Two are in the
sub. Has anybody looked at the building and use restrictions?
Well, no.
There's no homeowners association,
Yeah.
so I don't think there's any restrictions.
Well, the condo, I will tell you, that one will have multiple stuff. So somebody needs to pull the master deed to look at that, because there are things that you can do, because what we can do takes time.
Right.
There's things you can do now by starting to pull that kind of information together, and particularly I'll lay $10 on the table that the condominium unit, there are enforcement and procedures within the master deed for violations, fines, liens.
The major ones are houses, self-standing
Yeah,
houses,
yeah,
so they
they're
aren't
homes.
condos.
Yeah.
And I just want to throw it in, all of these homes sold within the last 3 years. They're all basically new people in the neighborhood. And I have approached one of the families and asked them about, you know, the one that's right smack on his front lawn. And
You're better off, you need to call us, and we just send a police officer and a code enforcement. Don't,
but there's no ordinance.
it
So
doesn't,
they
it doesn't
can-
matter, we still can, they can come up with something, let's put it that way, right?
Not necessarily.
A police officer
It's
can,
not a point, I'm expecting them, it looks like
blight,
it's-
whatever, yeah.
That's what
All right, we'll get on it tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Pat Shaw will get on it, and now, sometimes it takes a while, but we will get on it, I guarantee you. Is there anybody else in the audience for public comment on agenda? And, okay,
Hello, my name's Scott Caton. I'm a member of Fenton Township Fire Department, at least for the
Mr.
time
Keaton,
being.
just talk a little louder, please.
Sorry, the microphone
There.
was down a little bit. I'm a member of Fenton Township Fire Department, at least for the time being. Seeing as Chief's not here, I don't know if it's really good enough for me to speak about the concerns I have about what I received in the mail on Saturday. I have some issues with it. The main issue being that it said this was reviewed with me on May 16th of this year, which is impossible because I worked all day and I picked up my kids from daycare at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So how was this reviewed with me?
We don't know what you're looking at.
I have a verbal warning.
Let me interject something. This sounds like a personnel matter, so you should first address with the fire chief, and if that doesn't resolve it, maybe meet with Mr. Broker. But it's nothing the board should be doing at this meeting.
Well, I'm following up because of last month, the meeting that we had with the board. I was not able to come down to the board meeting to where it was addressed with other firefighters. And this is the first opportunity I've had to come in. I don't know if you remember.
My suggestion would be that you
Okay.
should first talk to the fire chief, and if that does resolve it, then get with Mr. Broker.
Okay.
It's not something the board should be doing at this meeting.
Okay. Also, I do have one other thing I would like to ask a question. Our current fire training schedules are scheduled on the nights of board meetings. Therefore, as a township resident, I have to decide whether to go, do I go to training or do I become involved with my community by going to the board meetings?
Again, let me address that if I could, please.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true, and that's been addressed, but there's other training sessions besides Fenton Township that you can go to. And again, that's something internal that doesn't involve the board itself, but there are other training sessions other than board meeting nights.
Okay, and I would also like to thank, well, not necessarily thank, but make note that the man who established this fire department recently passed away, and only 2 members of the fire department made his memorial, not including the setting fire chief.
He is talking about
Dwayne Stratman. Yes.
Yeah. But now, our fire chief was there.
He was not at the memorial, ma'am. I was there, he was not.
Okay, whatever, but I mean, he was there, one of them. All right, I will, is there any other comment to be made? If not, I'm going to say good evening, meeting is adjourned.
Thanks,